Welcome to the newest RSVP Northern Virginia podcast. This is your host, Rob Payne, Outreach Specialist with RSVP. And today we are again with the Interim Program Manager for RSVP and the RSVP Volunteer Specialist, Carly Hubicki. Carly, welcome to the podcast.
Hey, Rob. Thanks for having me.
Today we're going to talk to a subject that is near and dear to all of us, why people should volunteer. And we're going to address some of the reasons that people say, they're not quite sure volunteering is for them. And RSVP takes some different approaches on how to solve some of those possible challenges. Carly, what are some of the challenges that you hear when you go to an orientation or you talk to somebody about volunteering? What are the type of things that come up as far as reasons why people think that volunteering might not be for them?
I think the biggest one is time. So a lot of people, in retirement, they do fill up their schedules, so they don't feel like they have enough time to give to another organization because they do want to be able to, put out everything they have into it. But I will say in conjunction with this is that if you have just 1 hour a month, you have enough time to volunteer. The only commitment with our program is that we do ask you to volunteer once a year, which is definitely not hard to do, and all of our volunteers are really great at volunteering more than that. So it's really, people are able to figure out their schedules and they're able to really find the time to volunteer.
And there is a great need. We have an advertising campaign coming out in April. Why do they RSVP? We're going to be on the side of buses and all sorts of papers all over the area. And one of the ads features our Daily Point of Light honoree, Dee Mackey Smith. And Dee says just an hour can be a bucketful to someone in need. And there is great need in our area. As prosperous as it is, there's a lot of need out there, isn't there?
Yes, definitely.
What would be the next thing that people usually, sort of hesitate, reason that people hesitate to volunteer?
I think another one is their location. So being in a very high traffic area, this is a concern for people because they're not interested in driving a long way to get to where they need to go, which is totally reasonable. But what's awesome about the RSVP Northern Virginia program is that we have volunteer opportunities all over the place. So we have volunteering all over Fairfax County, Arlington County, and Alexandria. So whenever I'm having that one-on-one chat with our volunteers, I figure out what area they live in, what areas they're willing to travel to, and we are always able to find something in their area.
And to add to that, another thing that we hear, especially with some of the more advanced folks, is I can't drive, but one of our great volunteers, Mike McCormick of Arlington, lives down in Crystal City. He recently won a President's Volunteer Award for the number of hours that he volunteers. He doesn't drive. He takes public transportation at every single one of his volunteer assignments, doesn't he?
Yep, he does. Yep. So he's able to make it work.
And he's going to be one of the people featured on our bus ad and our Catch the Volunteer Bus promotion. So we hope that you check that out if you haven't already seen it. What would be the third reason that people on a regular basis, again, sort of give for not thinking volunteering is for them?
Yeah, I think the last one and a big one is commitment. So a lot of people in retirement do a lot of traveling, visiting family members, friends, which is totally normal, totally doable. But they see some of these volunteer descriptions that say, weekly commitment for a year, which can be a little daunting at first, definitely understandable. But what's great about all these volunteer opportunities is that they are flexible. So even if it is a weekly commitment, if something comes up, if you need to go out of town, they understand, as long as you give them some heads up. And if you're not looking to volunteer weekly, we have volunteer opportunities for that too. We really like to stress the fact that whatever you're willing to give as far as the volunteering goes, we're able to find something that matches your schedule. We have quite a few volunteer opportunities that don't even have necessarily a frequent commitment. It's more of a sporadic if you are available this one day, come out and help us. So we're really able to accommodate everyone's schedules.
And I want to give a plug for one of our other Volunteer Fairfax programs, Volunteers for Change, where a lot of our RSVP volunteers take part in their events. They just had a great event right the weekend before this podcast was taped, where they were making blankets for sick children over at Fairfax Children's Hospital. And they do a lot of what we call one-time, one-hit events, and they're fantastic. And usually they just took, like you said, a couple 2 hours, 3 hours commitment. So that's great. Well, thank you again. I hope that, again, if you have any more questions about volunteering in general or for RSVP or anywhere in the Northern Virginia area, please be sure to give Carly a phone call. What's the best number to reach you at, Carly?
Yep, the RSVP number is 703-403-5360.
That's fantastic. And we usually have orientations at least 2 every month, and a meet and greet or a lunch and learn. So keep in touch with the website. And what's that website address?
The website is rsvpnova.org.
Wonderful. Thank you, Carly, for being here. And we hope you tune in to the next RSVP Northern Virginia podcast.